God has already prepared the path long before you even knew you needed one. Nothing about your future is being decided in panic or last-minute adjustments. God is not scrambling to figure out how to bless you. He is not trying to come up with a plan for November. He has already written it, perfected it, and set it in motion. Before you prayed the prayer, God crafted the answer. Before you felt the fear, God arranged the solution. Before you noticed the mountain, God carved the way through it. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into a pathway designed by divine intelligence, divine order, and divine timing. Every twist, every pause, every delay has meaning, and even when you felt lost, God was guiding your steps with precision. You have not been wandering. You've been walking a path that was already paved with purpose. God has gone before you in ways you may never fully understand. He walked into your tomorrow and placed the right people strategically at the right points in your future. He positioned resources, opportunities, and breakthroughs exactly where you will need them. He set aside blessings that nobody else can claim because they carry your name on them. God has orchestrated conversations you haven't had yet, doors you haven't seen yet, and connections you haven't imagined yet. The path is not forming as you walk. It is unfolding because it was completed long ago. And when you finally step into what God prepared, it will not feel like a lucky break. It will feel like coming home to something that was waiting for you all along. Every hardship you endured was part of the preparation. God was not trying to break you. He was trying to build you into someone who could handle what's coming. The challenges strengthened your character. The delays sharpened your patience. The disappointments deepened your faith. The battles taught you endurance. You learned how to keep going when everything tried to stop you, and that persistence has positioned you for the blessing ahead. God cannot give a massive destiny to someone with a fragile foundation. So He allowed seasons that shaped you, seasons that stretched you, and seasons that taught you to depend on Him with your whole heart. Now the foundation is solid. Now the roots are deep. Now you are ready for what He prepared. You may have felt forgotten, but God was quietly aligning everything behind the scenes. Heaven was moving. Angels were working. Favor was shifting. And every silent season was God's way of making sure nothing arrived too early or too late. He is a God of perfect timing, and when He arranges your path, every detail matters. A blessing released too soon becomes a burden. A door opened too early becomes a distraction, but a blessing delivered in divine timing becomes unstoppable. God has synchronized your breakthrough with your readiness. He has timed your miracle with your maturity. That is why November holds weight, because everything is aligned. This path God prepared is not fragile. It cannot be blocked by people. It cannot be undone by your enemies. It cannot be stopped by fear, doubt, or mistakes. What God has prepared is protected. What God has planned is permanent. What God has spoken cannot be reversed. Even if you tried to walk in the wrong direction, God rerouted you. Even if you got tired or discouraged, God kept you moving. Even if life tried to break you, God kept your purpose intact. That's how powerful His preparation is. And now, as you approach this major shift, understand this. You are not stepping into something random. You are stepping into something reserved. You are not hoping for a miracle. You are arriving at a miracle that's been waiting for you. The path is ready. The season is set. The timing is perfect. God has prepared everything. Now He is preparing you to walk into it with confidence, boldness, and faith. Something extraordinary is about to happen because the road ahead was crafted by the one who never makes mistakes. God is not only preparing the path, He is preparing you to rise into the version of yourself that can handle the blessings, responsibilities, opportunities, and elevation that are coming. Many people pray for big things, but not everyone is prepared to carry big things. God loves you too much to give you something that would overwhelm you or crush you. So before He releases what He has planned for November, He strengthens you, shapes you, and develops the qualities within you that match the destiny ahead. You are not being delayed, you are being transformed. Every circumstance that challenged you, every moment that stretched your patience, every test that pushed you beyond your comfort zone was God refining you for a higher level. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in discomfort. God allowed seasons where you felt pressure, not to break you, but to build resilience in you. He allowed closed doors so you could learn discernment. He allowed betrayals so you could learn to trust Him instead of depending on people. He allowed losses so you could learn that your identity is not tied to what you have, but who you are becoming. He allowed waiting seasons so you could develop spiritual stamina. None of this was random. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. God was shaping your character so the blessing won't change you, but you will change everything around you when the blessing arrives. This preparation is making you stronger, wiser, more grounded, and more capable than ever before. You are learning how to respond with faith when things look uncertain. You are learning how to stay calm in situations that would have once caused you anxiety. You are learning how to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. That's growth. That's maturity. That's God elevating your mindset to match the level of your future. A shift is coming, but you can't step into a new season with an old mentality. So God is renewing your mind, stretching your perspective, and expanding your capacity. You are being positioned to carry more, handle more, and walk with greater purpose and power. He is also preparing your heart. A big blessing requires a healed heart, one free from bitterness, fear, doubt, and emotional heaviness. That's why God allowed certain people to exit your life. That's why He removed unhealthy attachments. That's why He let certain situations end abruptly. It wasn't rejection, it was protection. It was God clearing your heart so you have space for what's coming. He doesn't want your past pain to drain the joy of your future victory. He doesn't want your old wounds to interfere with your new opportunities. So He is healing you deeply and quietly so that when you step into November's shift, you step in whole, confident, and unshaken. And God is preparing your spirit, teaching you to trust Him more than you trust your circumstances. He's building your faith muscle so strong that when the blessing comes, you won't question it, you'll embrace it. When the opportunity comes, you won't doubt it, you'll walk into it boldly. When the miracle unfolds, you won't fear losing it, you'll know it was always meant for you. God is developing a level of spiritual maturity in you that cannot be shaken by temporary challenges. This preparation season proves one thing: God sees greatness in you. He sees potential you haven't discovered yet. He sees capabilities you don't even know you possess. Before He elevates you publicly, He strengthens you privately. Before He takes you higher, He makes sure you're steady. Before He releases abundance, He ensures you're disciplined enough to handle it. You are not the same person you were last month, last year, or last season. And that's exactly why you are getting closer to what God planned. So don't get discouraged by what feels uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable, preparation is uncomfortable, transformation is uncomfortable, but every part of this process is shaping you into someone unstoppable. God is preparing you because what He has planned for you is bigger than you can imagine. And when November arrives, you will look back and realize every challenge was necessary, every lesson was essential, and every moment of preparation was God setting you up for something extraordinary. God is aligning every detail, every connection, every opportunity, and every moment in ways you cannot yet see. And this divine alignment is the reason you must not panic, rush, or force anything. When God aligns something, it happens with ease, clarity, and undeniable purpose. You don't have to manipulate people, chase approval, or stress over outcomes, because what God has aligned for you cannot be taken, blocked, or disrupted by anyone. Even the situations that look out of place right now are part of a bigger pattern He is arranging behind the scenes. Nothing in your life is random. Not the delays, not the detours, not the disappointments. Everything is being positioned with precision, with intention, and with divine timing. God is shifting circumstances in your favor even when it feels like nothing is moving. He is aligning people you haven't met yet, conversations you haven't heard yet, opportunities you don't know exist, and resources you didn't even think were possible. Sometimes God aligns things by first misaligning everything that is not meant for you. He will shake your environment, disrupt your comfort, and remove what was never part of your destiny. It may feel like loss, but it's actually alignment. It may feel like confusion, but it's actually preparation. You might feel like everything is falling apart, but in reality, everything is falling into place, just not in the order you expected. God's alignment rarely looks like human logic. To us, it may appear chaotic, but to God, it is the perfect formation of your future. He is clearing out wrong paths so you don't wander into places that would drain your spirit. He is closing doors that would have derailed you. He is distancing you from people who can't go where you're going. Every separation is alignment. Every ending is alignment. Every redirection is alignment. God knows exactly what He's doing. The alignment God is orchestrating will not only place you where you are meant to be, it will also bring you what belongs to you. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to compete for it. You won't have to fear losing it. When God aligns something, it finds you, it recognizes you, it fits you, it flows into your life with a supernatural ease that confirms it was always yours. Doors will open without you knocking. Answers will come without you worrying. Blessings will appear without you striving. What once felt delayed will suddenly feel accelerated because divine alignment brings divine momentum. Things that were slow will speed up. Things that were complicated will become simple. Things that were distant will be brought near, and all of it will happen in a way that even you cannot explain, because it wasn't your effort. It was God's alignment. Alignment also means God is preparing the people who will play a part in your journey. Someone is being moved into a position to bless you. Someone is being inspired to speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Someone is being shifted into the exact place where your paths will intersect at the perfect time. You don't see these movements, but they are happening. God is aligning hearts, aligning minds, aligning opportunities, and aligning circumstances so that when it's time, everything connects perfectly. You won't be early, you won't be late. You will arrive exactly when God planned. And when this alignment becomes visible, it will make sense of every confusing season you endured. You'll look back and realize why certain things didn't work out, because they weren't aligned with your purpose. You'll understand why you had to wait, because God was aligning something greater. You'll appreciate why God said no, because His yes was far better. Nothing was wasted, nothing was pointless. Every moment was part of the unfolding alignment that is ushering you into the breakthrough God has prepared. The alignment is happening right now, even if you can't see it yet. Trust it, believe it. Walk in confidence, knowing that God is aligning your life with divine precision, and when the moment arrives, it will be bigger, better, and more beautiful than anything you imagined. Sometimes God will allow what you built to collapse, not to punish you, but to protect you from a foundation that was never meant to carry the weight of your future. When God steps in to bring a major shift, He often begins by shaking everything unstable, everything weak, everything temporary, and everything that was attached to the wrong people or the wrong season. This shaking is not the sign that your life is falling apart. It's the sign that God is removing what cannot stand in the next level He's preparing for you. The shift God is bringing is not meant to break you, but to break the limitations that have held you back for years. It is meant to free you from the cycles that wore you out, the fears that kept you small, and the environments that no longer reflect the person you are becoming. When God shifts your life, He chooses precision over comfort. He chooses destiny over familiarity. He chooses growth over your desire to stay somewhere that stopped serving your spirit long ago. This shift may show up as sudden change, people distancing themselves without explanation, opportunities closing unexpectedly, or plans falling apart even though you prayed for them to work. But understand this, God never closes a door to leave you stranded. He closes a door because what's on the other side is not aligned with your calling. He removes people because their presence would contaminate the blessing He's preparing to give you. He ends relationships because they were draining the strength you'll need for your next chapter. He shuts down opportunities because they would have kept you comfortable instead of pushing you into your divine assignment. What looks like rejection is protection. What feels like loss is preparation. What seems unfair is positioning. The shift is happening for you, not against you. God is shifting your perspective too. He's teaching you to see beyond what's in front of you, to recognize that frustration is often the doorway to transformation. He's pulling you out of survival mode and into purpose mode. He's stretching your faith so you don't settle for anything less than what He promised. This shift demands a new level of trust. You cannot cling to what God is trying to move you away from. You cannot fight to hold on to what He already declared expired. You cannot stay where you've outgrown. Growth requires release. Elevation requires surrender. Breakthrough requires letting go. And God is calling you to trust Him even when the shift feels uncomfortable, even when the transition feels uncertain, even when the path feels unfamiliar. But here's the beauty of God's shift. Once He finishes repositioning you, everything that felt confusing will suddenly make sense. The people who walked away will be replaced by people who love you, support you, and align with your purpose. The opportunities you lost will be replaced by doors you never dreamed would open. The loneliness you endured will be replaced by a peace so deep that it will silence every fear. The delay you battled will be replaced by acceleration that only God could orchestrate. You will look back and realize that nothing was taken from you. Only things that were beneath your calling were removed. God's shift is not subtle. It is bold, intentional, and unstoppable. It will rearrange your circle, redirect your path, revive your hope, and restore your strength. What He is preparing for you requires greater capacity, deeper wisdom, and a stronger foundation. That is why He is shifting everything now. So when the blessing arrives, you're ready to carry it, protect it, and grow with it. This major shift is the doorway to the season you prayed for. Don't fear it. Don't resist it. Don't question it. Stand firm, breathe deeply, and trust that the God who started this shift will finish it with glory, abundance, and victory. Your next chapter begins on the other side of this shift. Let God move you, let God guide you, let God transform you. The shift is here, and it's preparing you for everything you deserve. There comes a moment in every destiny, shifting season, when God requires you to release the last pieces of your old life, so your hands are free to receive the new one He has already prepared. This is not easy, because the things God asks you to let go of are often the things you thought you needed. Familiar routines, comfortable relationships, predictable plans, even versions of yourself that once felt safe. But God knows that holding on to what is no longer aligned with your purpose only delays the blessing that is meant to propel you forward. When God says, "Let it go," it is not to leave you empty. It is to empty you of everything blocking the abundance He is trying to pour into you. You cannot walk into a divine shift carrying baggage from a season that was never meant to follow you. God is calling you higher, and higher places require lighter loads. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is a mark of spiritual maturity. It means you trust God more than you trust your feelings. It means you believe that what He has ahead is greater than what you're leaving behind. It means you refuse to settle for anything that drains your peace, confuses your spirit, or distracts you from your calling. Sometimes God will allow discomfort to rise until you can no longer ignore the need to release something. Sometimes he will remove people abruptly to prevent you from carrying their weight any further. Sometimes he will shut down opportunities because they would have limited your growth. Every closure is strategic. Every ending is intentional. Nothing is accidental in the hands of God. The loss you fear is often the liberation you need. And the moment you finally release what God has been nudging you to let go of, you create space for restoration, breakthrough, and elevation. This surrender is also an act of warfare. When you let go, you break the enemy's attempt to keep you attached to cycles, trauma, distractions, and soul ties that were designed to hold you back. You silence the lies that tell you you're nothing without what you lost. You dismantle the fear that says your future depends on something God already removed. You declare with your actions that you trust the author of your destiny more than the comfort of your past. And when you surrender like that, heaven responds. God steps in with clarity, strength, and divine order. Suddenly, what felt heavy is lifted. What felt confusing becomes clear. What felt impossible starts shifting effortlessly. Letting go doesn't weaken you. It activates heaven on your behalf. The truth is, God cannot bless who you were. He can only bless who you are becoming. And becoming requires shedding old identities, old attachments, old habits, and old expectations. Your next season has no space for insecurity, for doubt, for people who don't value you, for burdens that aren't yours, or for fears that keep you small. When you release those things, you unlock a version of yourself that is courageous, aligned, and spiritually sharp. You begin to feel lighter, think clearer, and move with purpose. You begin to recognize that your value never depended on what left, but on the God who sent the blessing in the first place. You begin to walk with confidence, knowing that God would never ask you to release something unless He was preparing to replace it with something immeasurably greater. This is the moment where heaven leans in and watches how you respond. Will you cling to what feels safe, or will you trust God enough to let Him lead you into what's promised? Because the blessing, the breakthrough, the shift, it's already written. But you must step out of your old story to step into your new one. Letting go is the doorway to your next level. It is the final act of faith before the miracle breaks open. Release the fear, release the attachment, release the past. God is not taking something from you. He is making room for the abundance you've been praying for. Let it go, because what God is about to give you will prove that surrender was your greatest strength. When God says, "Get ready for what's coming," it means your season of smallness is ending. It means the valley you've been walking through is about to open into a place of elevation. Key point 6 is about preparation, but not the kind the world talks about. The preparation of the heart, the mind, and the spirit for a blessing so big it requires a different version of you. Before God releases a major shift, He doesn't just change your circumstances. He transforms you. He strengthens your faith, sharpens your discernment, and enlarges your capacity so you don't just receive the blessing. You sustain it. Many people pray for breakthroughs they are not yet built to carry, but God loves you too much to let you step into something prematurely. So when He whispers, "Prepare yourself," He is telling you that you are not waiting on the blessing. The blessing is waiting on you. Preparation begins in your mindset. God will start removing the limited thinking that kept you doubting yourself, doubting your future, and doubting the power He placed inside you. He will break old patterns of fear and replace them with boldness. He will strip away the narratives of failure and replace them with the truth of who you are in Him, chosen, equipped, favored, and assigned. He will reveal strengths you didn't know you had and call you to levels you once thought impossible. This transformation will not always feel comfortable. Growth is rarely gentle. Sometimes God will isolate you so you can hear Him clearly. Sometimes He will stretch you so your faith becomes unshakable. Sometimes He will allow pressure not to crush you, but to shape you into someone who can carry the weight of the blessing you've been praying for. You will not come out of this season fragile. You will come out fortified. Preparation also demands obedience. When God says, move, don't hesitate. When He says, release that person, trust Him. When He says, start that dream, begin even if you feel unqualified. Your faith in action becomes the key that unlocks the next door. God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for willingness. He is looking for a heart that says, Lord, I don't know how you'll do it, but I believe you will. That kind of faith shakes heaven. That kind of faith positions you for miracles. That kind of faith attracts favor, opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs you could never manufacture on your own. When you align your steps with God's voice, you step into a supernatural rhythm where things start happening that don't make sense to the natural mind. Doors open that you didn't knock on. People bless you who don't even know you. Resources come from places you never imagined, because preparation makes you visible to heaven. But preparation is also spiritual protection. When God elevates you, the enemy increases resistance, but God won't allow you to walk into a higher level uncovered. That's why He builds your prayer life, your discipline, your resilience. He teaches you to recognize spiritual attacks, not fear them. He trains your hands for battle and your heart for peace. He strengthens you so you don't break under pressure, crumble under responsibility, or fall for distractions disguised as opportunities. By the time God releases what's coming, you will be too focused, too grounded, and too anointed for anything to pull you off track. Your blessing will not destroy you. It will empower you because God has made you ready. So prepare yourself, not with anxiety, but with expectation. Prepare not because something might happen, but because God already said it will happen. Something major, something purposeful, something heaven sent is coming your way. The shift is not a rumor, it's a divine appointment. Your life is about to expand. Your territory is about to increase. Your story is about to change chapters. Stand ready, stay faithful, stay aligned. Because when God says, prepare yourself, it means the blessing has already left heaven and it's headed straight toward you.